it's Tina and I am back, and I am here with another Get Ready With Me makeup tutorial featuring another bold, bright, colorful look. And I've really been enjoying pulling out the colors lately. It's just the weather is getting warmer and I'm feeling all colorful and I'm trying to get my spring and summer on. And I was inspired by a look that I did previously on my blog. I'll show you, yeah. So I did this look. I don't know if you guys might remember it. I actually did this look on Makeup Geek's website as well. And it was a kind of aqua blue, sky blue look with a dark purple outer lid. And I wanted to redo the look, and I incorporated the Masquerade palette from Juvia's. I did get the smaller size after I did my review. I did get the smaller size. So this is what the smaller one looks like. The large one is just too much to tout around. And I also incorporated a couple of colors from Makeup Forever. So this sky blue shade is so gorgeous. So that's what I used on my lid. And I tossed in a couple of new products that I'm trying out, testing out to see how I like them. So if you want to see how I accomplish this really colorful and fun look, then stay tuned and I'll talk to you soon.
Hey there guys, so as usual I'm starting off with a clean, freshly washed face, and this time around I have my eyebrows already completely filled in. And the first thing I'm going to grab is Charlotte Tilbury Charlotte Magic Cream. This is a very soothing moisturizer, so I'm applying this on the drier spots on my face, which happen to be around my mouth area and a little bit on my cheeks. I don't know, I think I'm developing eczema. I am afraid of it. But next I'm going in with my eyeshadow primer. I'm applying this directly on my eyelids. This is going to help prevent creasing of our eyeshadow throughout wear. Now I'm going in with my Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. This is the shade Dark Neutral, and I'm applying that directly beneath my brows and blending a little bit down onto my eyelids. I'm using my Anastasia number 18 concealer brush to help create an outline under my brow, and this is a really defined shape concealer brush, so it really helps to sharpen up the underside of the brow and create a very clean, sharp outline. Now once I've created the shape, I'm just going to blend out the excess concealer using my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. This is just going to help to blend out the rest of the concealer across my lids and make it nice and even. Now let's zoom in because we're going to start on our eyeshadows. For my blending shade, I'm going in with the Sugar Pale Heart Shaped Cookie Eyeshadow, which is just a matte beige nude shade, and I'm grabbing this on an Eddie Funkhouser large crease brush, and I'm just gonna buff this in my crease area using back and forth windshield wiper motions, and I'm also gonna use small circular motions just to make sure that we have a nice even coverage of this shade. It is going to act as our blend-in transition shade in that brow bone space. Then for our first eyeshadow color, I'm grabbing I204 Sky Blue from Makeup Forever, which is an iridescent sky blue shade. It's not really frosty or shimmery, but it is not a full matte. It is more like a satin shade with a little touch of sheen, and I'm pressing that onto the center of my lid, just using short pressing strokes to deposit the color so we have a great intensity and color payoff. And then I will go around the edges of the color, just using, again, windshield wiper motions, going back and forth to blend out the harsh edges that we created in the crease. And we're just using the same brush that we used to apply the color. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm grabbing the two deep blue-purple shades from the palette, which are Chi and Makeda, and I'm going to blend these two shades together on my outer V and outer crease area using a large Sonia Kashuk crease brush. This is a dome shape dense crease brush, and I'm using it to build up the color on the outer lid area. I'm slowly depositing color, just building and mixing the two shades together on the outer V area, and it's going to create a bluish purple tone. And these shades are really pigmented, so I'm taking my time building up the color, pressing it on that outer lid area to get the desired intensity. And then I will go around the edges of the color using that Eddie Funkhouser blending brush just to buff out and fade out that dark purple shade into the crease and brow bone without leaving behind any harsh lines. Now I'm going to grab the pigment from MAC that I used in the original look. This is Push The Edge, and it's a dark, deep, burnt purple shade, and I'm applying this on a Chikuhodo J5523 blending brush. It's a softer brush than the Sonia Kashuk brush because I just want a light payoff of this color. I'm not trying to go too intense, so I just blend that in that outer V area. Now I'm going into the Dark Mattes palette from Viseart, and I'm using this dark purple shade from the palette to replace the Dalia eyeshadow from Stila that I used in the original look, just to help to add some depth to that outer V. For my inner tear duct area, I'm going to use the shade Giza from the palette, which is a shimmery light champagne shade, and I'm applying that on my inner tear duct area using my pencil brush from Eddie Funkhouser, and I'm going to buff around the edges of that color to make sure that it blends in nicely with the other shades that are on the lid because I don't want to leave behind any harsh lines. For my highlight, I'm using my Bare Minerals All Over Face color in the shade Clear Radiance, and I'm applying that directly under my brow bone using my MAC 252 large shader brush. Now this is a very light shimmery pink shade, and I'm just blending that downwards onto the brow bone. I'm going to clean up some of this eyeshadow. I'm going to clean up the shape on the outer lid and outer V using just a Q-tip and my Bioderma makeup remover. And this is just going to create a clean, sharp line on that outer lid and outer V. Now let's go ahead and work on the face. I'm grabbing my foundation, which is the Estée Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade 5N1 Rich Ginger. And I'll just buff this into my skin using my The Face 3 brush from Marc Jacobs. And I love this foundation shade match. I love this foundation. It's a little bit heavy for everyday wear, but for special occasions or when you just really want to get that flawless look, it's a really good foundation for that. And it is also great for oily skin. Now, even though a foundation says it's long wearing and matte and meant for oily skin, I still try to use a mattifying primer and set with powder because nothing is foolproof when it comes to my oily skin. So this is not bulletproof at all, but I do really like the finish of it, and I like that it wears a longer time. But again, it's not going to be the longest wearing foundation because my skin type is very, very oily. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of this concealer under my eyes. Again, it's the Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer in the shade Dark Neutral. And I'm just applying that directly under my eyes. Again, this is a really great shade match for me, so I don't have to worry about being too careful with it. Like, I can apply enough and it won't cake up and look just stark on my skin. And I'll blend this out using a dual-sided brush from Tarte Cosmetics. I got it in one of their holiday sets. And it's just a very soft brush, and I'm just blending that concealer out using that softer side of the brush. And then I'll further blend it out using a beauty blender. Now, I didn't even dampen this beauty blender, and it still works perfectly fine. So you can use your sponges dry or damp. They're just better when you use damp to blend out liquid foundation specifically. Now I'm going to grab the shade D124 Crystalline White from Makeup Forever, and I'm applying this to the inner tear duct using my Morphe pencil brush. I just decided I needed a little bit more oomph and a little bit more pop in that inner tear duct area, so I grabbed a shimmery shiny shade, and I'll make sure that I go back in with a blending brush and blend around the edges, because sometimes when you apply an inner tear duct highlight, it can be a little bit stark, so you want to make sure you blend everything in with your eyeshadows. I'm going to set my foundation in place using my Cover FX Loose Matte Setting Powder. I have the shade Deep and Medium, and I'm blending the two shades together in the top of one of them and just pouncing it over my skin using my Tarte Cosmetics Powder Player Brush. Just pressing it into my skin to make sure that everything is set in place. Like I said, I do still set this foundation to make sure that it stays matte and long wearing. I'm going back into the Juvia's Place palette to finish up the eyes, and I'm grabbing the shade Dalia on my MAC 242 small shader brush, and I'm applying it directly on my lower lash line area, going about 75% of the way in. It's a beautiful shimmery blue shade. And then I'm going in with a shimmery green shade from the palette. This one is Mally, and I'm just applying that on the inner lower lash line. And then I'll go around the edges of those shades with a clean blending brush just to make sure that we can fade that out and that we don't leave behind any harsh lines. Even though on the lower lash line it's not that big a deal, I still like to fade out the edges. Now I'm going in with my mascara, which is my Too Faced Better Than Sex, and I'm just going to apply this to my upper lashes before I go in with my false eyelashes. And I don't think I need to say it, but this mascara is my favorite of all time. And then I'll go ahead and apply my lower lash mascara. This is my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. Again, my favorite mascara for the lower lashes. I just love the brush on this mascara, and I found out that it's not just the brush, but the actual formula is really great for helping those lower lashes stand out. Now I'm grabbing my Tarte Skinny Smolder Eyes in the shade Onyx, which is just a rich black shade, and I'm lining my lower waterline with this color. I went ahead and bought a couple of these on backup because they were on sale, and I really like the formula. And I really like how it applies and wears. It's not for everyone, because if you have watery eyes, I don't think it's necessarily going to stay in place. But I've been really enjoying it. So I'm going in now with my false eyelashes. These are the Studio Effects Wispies from Ardell, which are one of my favorite styles of drugstore lashes. They're really inexpensive. They're lightweight. They're easy to apply. And I just love the fullness that they give my lashes. And because they have a thinner band, I don't even have to wear liner with them for them to blend in seamlessly with my natural lashes. So I'm just going to pop those on, and then we'll go on to the rest of the face. Now I'm grabbing my Makeup Revolution matte blush. This is the shade Fusion, which is just a matte peachy pink blush, and I really love this blush for my skin tone. And I'm buffing that on my cheek area using my T4 brush from Chikuhodo. It's a really soft, beautiful brush, and it's great for applying pigmented shades so you don't get too much color. And I'm just making sure that I blend that color out because, again, it can be pretty intense, but I really love this blush as well. And then for my highlight, I'm using this Makeup Revolution Strobe highlighter. This one is the lighter pink shade. I forget what shade it is, but I'm just going to pop that on the high points of my cheeks using a small brush from Wayne Goss. This is one of their face brushes, and I'm blending that in. I'm trying to keep a little bit lower on my cheekbone, trying to almost use this as a blush topper because I just like this placement a little bit better for my highlight these days. And now we can finish up with the lips. I'm using this Kat Von D liquid lipstick. It's in the shade J Dub, and it's one of her newer shades. It's a really bold fuchsia pink shade. It has a ton of purple undertone, and I really do like the shade on its own. Like, it's a really beautiful, like, spring, summer shade, and it does suit my skin tone. I mean, mostly I'd probably try to go in with a deeper liner, but this formula was driving me nuts because it's a little bit more sheer. You do have to build it up, and then it dries down to like a raisin finish. That's what I'm gonna call it because it makes your lips look like dried prunes, and I was just not happy with it. I had to layer too much, and then all those layers just didn't work out in the end at all. And it's a real shame because the color is really, really gorgeous, and I really do like how it turned out. I love the lips with this look. The eyes are really beautiful. I love everything about it, but just the formula was just so off. But other than that, I liked how everything else turned out.
Alright guys, so here you have it. This is the completed look, and I absolutely love how the eyes turned out. I wish I had my Stila Dalia eyeshadow still. That's the eyeshadow that I used on the outer V to really make it dark and smoky. I wish I still had that, but I think I gave it away or I just got rid of it completely. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it from Stila still. I'm gonna actually check it out because that was a really beautiful, deep kind of eggplant burnt purple. I really love that shade, and it really worked on that outer V. But the colors that I used still worked pretty well. I did have to just grab the original pigment, that Push The Edge pigment. I just had to pull it out because I really wanted to get the same kind of depth that I had before in the original look. But yeah, I think I pulled it off. The lips though, I went with a bolder, brighter lip, and I'm not too sure how I feel about this. It took quite a few layers to get to this color, and it's cracking, of course. It's giving me raisin lips. I don't know that I'm completely in love with the shade from Kat Von D. It's one of her newer colors too, so did she change the formula? It's like her nude shades are nice, but this particular shade is not really tickling my fancy. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this shade. Anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I will go ahead and leave a full list of the products down below in the description box. Some of them are limited edition and I don't think they're still available, but you can always use substitutes like I did, because I didn't use the same exact shades from the original look. I just substituted what I had in my own collection that's now current. So you can always substitute for other shades, but I will still leave the list below, as well as links to where you can pick them up if they're available, and those links happen to be affiliate links. Now with affiliate links, I do get a small sales commission off your purchase if you make a purchase through that link. If you're uncomfortable with that, just go ahead and shop how you normally do through Sephora, Ulta, or Nordstrom. I typically just generate my links through those websites because that's where I normally shop as well, so I'm not directly affiliated with any of the brands mentioned, and I'm not being compensated by these brands to feature these products in my videos. I just want to play with my makeup and my collection and things that I've recently picked up or rediscovered that I've truly been loving. And if you do make a purchase through my links, thank you very much for the support. I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter page where you definitely should be following me along. You get previews of looks, we talk, we ask questions, we just have a good time on those social media platforms, so definitely go ahead and follow me there. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye guys!